I was a student here in the 70s, and I was sent here. My father wanted me to continue my education here. I had a blast here. I listened to Pink Floyd, Jethro Tull, and a lot of other that. Going to parties, watching football, and enjoying my life. End of 70s here, I was introduced to Dr. Shariati's books, read Shiaism, and how every individual needs to be responsible in bringing about justice and equality. At that time, Ayatollah Khomeini was, out speaking against Shah, and events were taking place in Iran. By the time I graduated, the revolution had happened, so I returned home feeling really joyful and hopeful that there's going to be full democracy and freedom in Iran. Obviously, compared to now, Shah was an angel because we were having a peaceful life, a luxury life. But that lack of freedom of speech, and lack of freedom of political activity was his downfall. My best friend was already in the Revolutionary Guards in the intelligence unit. He recruited me, telling me that my expertise is needed for the infrastructure and help the country move forward, and I did that. At the time of my enrollment in the Revolutionary Guards, we were a band of brothers. These were regular guys from the poorer section of the society, but honest, innocent, and they just believed that a new movement is on the horizon. They were not radicals, and basically, very regular guys. And so after the revolution, as things took place, we started going downhill. A lot of horrific events happened that I was a witness to. I witnessed torture, rape, execution of our youth because they wanted to have that freedom of being involved in the political system of the country. Basically, all that Ayatollah Khomeini promised before the revolution to the Iranian people was a deceit and a lie, and immediate fascism took place. A radical minority was driving the majority towards abyss. Especially after what happened to my friends and what I witnessed of this total disrespect to human dignity. I became disillusioned. I was horrified. I was young, restless, and America was my second home. I thought that by coming out here, informing the American authorities about what was going to happen, that they were going to help. They were going to help us make change. So I made up a story. I got my friends' help in traveling back to US, and I contacted the FBI, talked to them a few times, didn't find them really knowledgeable about the Iran matters. And excuse me, I know the FBI guys are here, so sorry about that. They put me in touch with the CIA, and they were professional. Quite knowledgeable, and in one of my meetings with the CIA officer, he told me that they need my help and they want me to go back and become their eyes and ears. But ultimately, the choice was mine. I could just live in America, forget about everything, bring my family, or go back and help. And I answered, yes, I will help. And they sent me to Europe. I was trained in communication, didn't get any magical watch and a pen or a card that James Bond has, but they gave me simply some code books, pencils and papers, taught me how to decipher codes, and I passed all the tests, was sent back to Iran. The next day after I arrived, I went to our base. I met my friend Kazem, and it was interesting, and that's the reason I'm mentioning it here. The first thing he told me, he said, Reza, did you pass all the information to the CIA when you were there? And he was obviously joking. And I told him yes, and I actually had dinner at White House, so it was pretty tense, but I shook it off. So basically, I started my work as a spy. I would wake up 3 a.m. in the morning, listen to radio, receive codes, and then decipher them into messages. And I would write invisible letters, making drops, informing the CIA of the information I was receiving. Now, throughout my work, I think I was more shocked of the West's the lack of understanding of what was going on in Iran and their willingness to negotiate with the people who were not only a danger to the Iranian people, but also to the world. This lack of understanding was more shocking to me than what the guards were actually doing, which was expanding their terror network throughout the world, carrying out assassination, transferring explosives and arms, training Hezbollah, providing funds to Hamas. Obviously, at that time, it was Islamic Jihad. They were providing funds, and Hezbollah and others. In one of the reports, I informed the agency of the information I had received about the nuclear bomb. And the intelligence unit of the guards had information of Saddam, who was out there in the black market trying to buy the actual nuclear bomb. That's how the Iranian nuclear bomb started. Mohsen Rezai asked Ayatollah Khomeini for permission to start the nuclear bomb project, and he gave him approval. So all this nonsense that nuclear bomb is against our belief and the Islamic religion is really not true. They approached the Pakistanis to buy the actual bomb, and they ended up with centrifuges. Another report was that I learned while the US arms embargo was in place, European countries, and I can't name that a specific country because it was taken out of my book, they provided a catalog of military armaments to the Revolutionary Guards, and they just pick and choose what they wanted, and England and Germany sold it to them. In another instance, I learned that in an unwritten pact, specifically Germany, England, and France shamefully provided authorization